Welcome, everybody. Russell JS here. It is Friday, I guess August. When did I get back? Let's see. I guess I got back on the 21st, so that makes it the 23rd, Friday afternoon at around 3:30 p.m. I'm just going ahead. I'm back home, back in my town of Cape Coral, Florida, and just enjoying a nice walk in the park. One of the things I saw last night was I lost a subscriber, and it's like I said, you know, I apologize for everything. I mean, everything didn't go according to plan, and I think a lot of it had to do with, all the all the issues that went down over at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. See, what happened was just a few days prior to going on the trip, I went on the internet and wanted to see what will be going on for my time there. What rides will be open, because I know that sometimes they get ready to close down things for refurbishments and all that other joyful stuff. But yeah, there were rides I wanted to go on that I wanted to try out that I've heard of. Like all the new stuff, like like the Skull Island Kong ride, Revenge of the Mummy, Jurassic Park River Adventure, Fast and Furious Supercharged. And I walked all around Islands of Adventure, and needless to say, I was not real pleased, and I was not real happy with, the fact that rides were closed for refurbishment. When I was told they were going to be open. I mean, Revenge of the Mummy was said to be open, Fast and the Furious, Jurassic Park River Adventure. Because the thing is, I'm not really a big roller coaster, my limits as far as roller coasters go are, Big Thunder Mountain. And that's as roller coaster as I get. Like all the loop-de-loop stuff, realizing that my father has got a heart condition, that means I could possibly have a heart condition. And, it's not so much as throwing up all over myself in midair that I'm concerned about. It's, would my heart be able to take all the adrenaline? And, I was standing in line. See, what had happened was, I had all that information, that those rides were going to be open, and that, everything was going to be fine. And what happened was, I was seeing some of the rides I would have loved to have gone on, but, good, a lot of them were, the wait line was like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And it was just, and I got frustrated. I mean, I wanted to vlog, at Islands of Adventure and the OG park, but, I got frustrated. My phone was dying. I had to go get one of those chargers and pay $32. But what was cool about them is you could swap them out as they run out of power, run out of energy. And, you've seen them before. If you go to the Disney parks or Universal or SeaWorld or Busch Gardens, you see those. So, I got one of those, and, well, the thing is, you got to keep it plugged into your phone. So, and it's a backup for your phone. It's like a backup battery. And my phone got really hot. I mean, literally, it felt like it was, warm. So what I did was, I just gone ahead and I just said, you know what, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to, I'm going to let it relax. And, I was drinking as much water as I can, finding places where I could fill up water in my water bottle. It was just crazy. I mean, there were lines for that. There were lines for the rides, and and needless to say, you know, I was really feeling a little hot. So, you know, I saw the Skull Island King Kong ride. That thing looked, not only did it look promising, but I was going to be indoors with ice cold AC. And I was filming in the queue line, and where it said it was going to be a 35 wait period, 35 minutes turned into over an hour, and the ride malfunctioned. And I think Revenge of the Mummy malfunctioned, and some it was disastrous. I mean, and then what happened was, after that, because I had already bought souvenirs, like for my mom and dad, and a close friend of mine. And so I had the souvenirs in my backpack. So I made my way to the parking lot, to the front entryway to the parking lot. They have that really nice parking structure there, that parking garage. And I said, that's when I said, screw this, I'm done. Because I thought, this is disastrous. This is a nightmare. And I was thinking about, what am I going to tell the subscribers? If, whether I was worried if whether or not you were going to be disappointed in me. Like, oh, how come you didn't film? Well, this is your answer. And, I did leave a formal apology for what happened. I lost a subscriber, so now I'm down to 49. I mean, I'm going to keep vlogging, making videos of every kind for old school proportions. I mean, I was excited. You saw in the previous videos, the weeks prior, before I decided to make this trek, you saw how excited I was for it, that I was, I was getting all pumped up. I was full of adrenaline, mental and emotional. And you know what? I think a lot of it had to do with, I didn't go with any friends or anything like that, and I was alone. But, I felt in my heart I had to take this trip, even by myself. I did, however, upload some videos, ride-throughs. I mean, like I said, I apologize if they're in the poorest of quality. I only have my phone to work with right now. I'm looking at getting a GoPro. I'm looking at, other stuff. I'm gonna get maybe a new tablet or something like that. One that has like the little thing, the cartridge that you put in, so you could download in and upload information on the tablet, from another device. But it just went real disastrous. And I guess in many ways I wasn't really meant to vlog. I was, it was about me, going through this self-reflection, reflecting on my life, rejuvenating my mind and my heart. Because, like, a lot has happened. And, a trip like this I've been wanting to take since I was a little kid. I always thought about what it would be like to, I mean, before Universal Studios opened, what would it be like if I went by myself on a trip to Disney World? And I'll say this much, after the Universal trip, I went downstairs. I didn't really eat all that much for dinner. I mean, at Universal, I went to that hot dog Hall of Fame, and I had a foot long with fries, and I paid $15 just for a foot long with fries and a Coca-Cola. And it was just crazy. And after I ate, I started to feel a little bit more better, and I decided to go ahead and use my park hopper at the original park. And I figured, I've found something out. I'm sure a lot of you might know, you've probably been to the Universal parks since Islands of Adventure opened. Islands of Adventure is really the original Universal Park cut in half. That's what that really is. I mean, they just divide it in half, they cut it in half so that way they could have two separate parts, because they're trying to compete with Disney. And, now there's a lot of people lately, the whole theme park thing, in Orlando has been like, Disney is Ford and Universal is Chevy, SeaWorld is Chrysler, whatever you want to call it. But like, but, I learned that we were kind of getting ripped off in a way, because there was a lot of things I recognized, a lot of buildings, like, I recognized one cafe I ate at once in Universal back in the 1990s, where my mother paid, I forgot how much money, it was a lot of money for a slice of pizza back then to be $5 with a Coke. And well, needless to say, by today's standards, that would be like $15 probably. And I remember this cafe, it used to have, tapestries of all these people, all these actors from over the years that have been in Universal movies like John Candy and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, all who have been in Universal movies together. And they also had a whole thing. It was really cool. They took all these movie posters that were the, foreign versions, what country they came from, like the Chinese version of the Superman the movie poster, or Raiders of the Lost Ark, or the Blues Brothers. It was really a cool looking place, but yeah, needless to say, I went ahead and I recognized, like, there's one place, it was called the Lost Continent, and I remember it being the old, it was still the Hard Rock Cafe building. It was the old entryway to it. And, I recognized the theater, which was the Animal Actors Stage. I mean, I was recognizing a lot of stuff. And I came to realize, I was like, I know what they're doing. Instead of building another park elsewhere on the property like Disney did, they just took the one park and cut it in half and made two parks out of it. So, Islands of Adventure is really nothing special. Not despite the hype that Universal Studios puts in the commercials and the ads on the internet and all that other stuff. It's nothing really special. And they had rides that were broke, that had long lines too, and I couldn't get in because I was carrying my backpack, like Men in Black Alien Attack. They wouldn't let me on the ride unless I rented a locker. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you expect me to pay so much for entrance admission, but I got to pay probably $20 for a locker. Yeah, get out of here. A locker that's going to be used only for a few minutes, and I may forget my belongings. Yeah, no thank you. And, I carry necessities in my backpack. I was carrying my water bottle, my first aid kit, my umbrella, things that you would need, for traveling. And, well, I only got to ride two rides the regular park. I rode E.T. You have to ride that. That's the only original ride that's at Universal Studios. And I rode the Transformers 3D. And I really loved the Transformers 3D, and I got to see the Blues Brothers perform. And then I think it was around 6 o'clock, I said, you know what, let me go ahead and call it a night. I made a day out of it. I was productive. call it a night. Let's, tomorrow's another day, and I got Disney. And, I was attempting to vlog at Disney World. This is where I went to Disney World and Epcot Center, and I put out the videos I put out, and after I was done, I went back to the hotel. I didn't get much sleep. I don't think I got any sleep until about 2 in the morning because I spent time, packing up everything that I owned. Make sure I had everything before I left. I mean, before I went to check out, I went ahead and when they say go over things with a fine-tooth comb, I did that. And I went ahead and I checked out, and I attempted to try to get on International Drive to that area of 192 where all the wacky gift shops were, and I couldn't. Traffic was just, it was horrendous. It was chaos. It was anarchy. I mean, if you're planning on going there anytime soon, like say you're going to go from I-95 to I-4 or I-75 to I-4, please remember that you're going to basically, you're going to be dealing with a lot of road construction on I-4. I mean, they're tearing that up, and traffic is just crazy. It's a nightmare. And, well, that's all I got to tell you about what happened. As usual, if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit a like, subscribe, leave comments in the box down below, ring the bell for notifications. And once again, from the bottom of my heart, I so sincerely apologize to all of you for what happened. I mean, it was very aggravating, and I didn't want to vlog, with a bad attitude. And me, when I do these kind of vlogs, I always go ahead and make sure I have a good positive attitude, and my mind is at ease. It's just hard because I got frustrated and I got angry because I work 2 jobs, and I'll tell you, $150 to some people is not a lot of money, but it's a lot of money to somebody like me. Okay, I mean, $150 to me, I mean, it's it's money I can use, but it was money I set aside for my admission into Universal Orlando. Will I ever go back there? Well, let's just say they sent a survey my way, and I did issue a complaint last night. Sent them an email, and then via email I got a survey, and I went ahead and put in that survey how I felt about everything. At any rate, this is your old pal Russell JS. I want to wish you all, take care of yourself and the ones you love and care about. Enjoy the good things in life. Get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, get you enough of less drama, no drama, get you enough of less chaos, no chaos. Play some Atari, play some Nintendo, play some Sega Genesis. Listen to old school music of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and probably within 5 years, 2020s. Watch some killer old school movies, old school TV. And as always, I want to wish you all Godspeed. May the force be with you always.